Good afternoon, everybody. It's me, Jessica, your health fitness program manager from Miter McLean, and I'm here today to guide you through your glute focused yoga practice. So we're going to be a little bit more active today. We're going to do a couple strength training moves in our yoga. You're worth it. It's going to be awesome. We start in 4 minutes at 11:15. I do encourage you, if you have trouble hinging forward at the hips and placing your fingertips down on the floor, to bring a block or two or bring a stack of books or whatever it is that you're going to need to help you reach down towards the floor, because that's going to come into play a little bit today. All right, so turn on your favorite jams, whatever you need to do to stay relaxed in the moment, and we'll get started at 11:15. Set a little scented mood here. Plug in Mrs. Meyer's basil air freshener. Oh my gosh. So good. Oh, it smells so good. Yay, so we're finishing up week 3 of our Way to Go accountability challenge. You're so welcome to still join in. It's just about creating healthy habits and building on those healthy habits. Week 1 was hydration. Week 2 was aiming to get 30 minutes of physical activity 5 times a week. And week 3 has been about adding fruits and vegetables into each of your meals. You can join our Way to Go accountability page on Facebook. This morning I posted about a delicious zucchini lasagna I made with no noodles, just using zucchini in place of the noodles. Oh my gosh, it smelled divine and was so delicious. I put up a picture of my prep and the recipe, pretty simple. If you're into cooking, check Will out next week. He's gonna be making some sushi with you guys. The recipe is going to be posted on Friday. Look for a video from Will, I believe, on Tuesday. So you can make sushi for lunch or dinner. Ah, sounds delicious. Do you deliver, Will? That's the question. Yep, Will's going to post those recipes ahead of time so that you have time to get the ingredients, get any prep on that you might need to do, so you guys can cook it up together, or make your children watch the video and they can make you dinner or lunch. Hi, Birdie. Hi, Mrs. Ladybird. Here you go. Here's some more. You're welcome. Okay, we'll get started today. When we get started? Oh, right now. Oh, there's my clock. Perfect. In easy pose, so just come to the seated position of your choice on the floor. We'll just take about a minute right here to slow down our day, start to come into our breath, start to ground your sit bones into the floor. Work to find some engagement of your abdominal core as you stretch up through the crown of your head, lengthening up towards the ceiling, shoulders relaxing and releasing away from ears, maybe even elbows drawing back, so hands a little further towards those hip creases. No need to find any extra arching or rounding of the back though. Shake it out however best you need to. Find that neutral chin to your chest. And slow down your breath. Long, slow, deep, full inhales, really feeling your rib cage expand, increasing your lungs capacity. Take a moment with your lungs full in that awareness. And then as slow as you can, even slower than you inhaled, let all of that stale air out. Make sure to really contract your core. Push that stale air out at the end so every breath can be fuller, fresher, longer, deeper. And every exhale can truly be sending out all of your old stale air, everything that you no longer need, that no longer serves you. As you do so, feel that tension relax and melt away from your shoulders, from your head, finding a little bit more length through the crown of your head, maybe a little extra abdominal engagement. If you want to set an intention for your class today and that sounds good for you, now that you've started to come into your breath and your focus, it's a beautiful time to do so. Maybe your intention for class is just to be as present and mindful as possible. Maybe yoga is a challenge for you and your intention is just to be at peace with whatever it is that your body can do today. All of these are fabulous intentions. Okay, let's go ahead and start with our movement. Drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Continue to draw those elbows back behind you. Find that lift of your chest, sternum, re-engage your abdominal core. Take a couple of breaths right here, nice and slow, just like when we started. And you decide when you're ready, use your breath to slowly, gently bring your ear to your opposite shoulder. Make sure that you still have that chest open, that you didn't collapse as you rotated through towards the other side. Pulling that belly in, it's going to help with that back as well, especially if your back feels tired from supporting yourself sitting up here. Hands on your knees can also provide a little extra support. Just breathe into any tension that you might find in your neck. And we'll use the next couple of breaths to just roll gently from side to side. Start by keeping the motion towards the front of your body. In a couple breaths, I'll give you the option to go for a nice full circle, as wide of a range of motion as feels good for you, but no pressure. It doesn't matter how far you're going to go back. If you're finding any spots right now just rolling side to side that are really tense, you can always think about bringing your hands up towards your neck, helping to massage out those tense points. All right, and if you want to go for a little bit more of a circle, enjoy a circle a couple times through in one direction. Wow. Next time your chin comes towards your chest, go ahead, change directions if you're going for a full circle. Make sure you still have that belly pulled in. Find that length once again. Creating space between each of your vertebrae with your inhale. Last time through. Chin tucks towards our chest once more. Squeeze those shoulder blades together a little bit tighter. Find a little more engagement in your upper back. Lift that chest again though. Squeeze shoulder blades, elbows gently draw back. And go ahead, lift your head back up. Stack your ears over your shoulders, head over your heart. Let's go ahead and warm up our wrists just a little bit today. Make some circles with your wrists. In one direction, you can crunch and curl your fingers as much as you want to. Change direction of those wrist circles. Just gonna wake up our fingers a little bit. Some mudras here. Bring your thumb and your pointer finger to touch. Bring your thumb and the pad of your middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger. On the way back, go ahead, bring the pad of your thumb to the nail of your pinky finger. Still lift that chest to the nail of your ring finger. to the nail of your middle finger, pointer finger. One more time through. Pads of fingers pressing against each other really work to create some pressure. See if you can find some straightness in your other fingers. Try to resist the curling in while you're pressing one finger against your thumb at a time. All right, and on the way back, back of the pinky finger, back of the ring finger, back of the middle finger, the pointer finger. Go ahead, take a moment, shake it out. Bring your right hand forward, palm facing forward. Relax and release that shoulder away from your ear. Pull your belly in and take your left hand and just press through your right hand palm. Little wrist extension and flexion. Oh my gosh, words. All right, go ahead, turn those fingertips down towards the floor. Pull on the back of the hand palm. Find as much straightness through your right arm as feels good for you today. And switch other side. Press your left hand palm away from you. Find that length through the crown of your head. Still create that space in your vertebrae. Point those fingers down towards the floor. Awesome. Shake it out once more. We're going to come up into tabletop. A little bit more wrist warm up right here. So coming up onto your knees, I want you to place the back of your hands, palms down on the floor so that your fingertips are pointing towards your knees. And then you're just going to bring your hips closer towards your heels and lift yourself back up into tabletop. Work to pull those shoulders away from your ears as you lift yourself back up. 2 more. The last one. Awesome. Go ahead, turn your fingers in towards each other so thumbs are closer towards your knees. You're just going to rock gently from side to side. Oh my gosh, my upper body is so tired. My butt is so sore. Anyone else from workouts this week? Getting up from a chair and walking upstairs, especially this morning, it's hard. Okay, next up we're just going to go for a gentle hip openness or blah. So turn those hands, palms forward. You're going to take your right foot and just bring it forward. Not really a super lizard, so not all the way towards the outside of your mat. You may need to lift up your left leg and walk it back a little bit. We're just hanging out right here in this gentle hip opener. If you need to, you can even turn those left toes in towards the right side of your mat. Find a stretch on in the right hip, right glute area. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. Pull your belly in. Find some length through the crown of your head. You can even be on the pads of your fingers or using your block right now if you need to. And change. Turn your left toes towards the back of the mat. Bring your right knee back into tabletop. Step your left leg forward. And then shift the weight forward. You can have your hands on the floor as long as you can pull those shoulders away from your ears or lift yourself up gently. Work to find some length again through the crown of your head. This time, if it helps for balance, turning those right toes towards the left side of the mat. I think that helps to create a little bit of an extra squeeze and twist throughout the glutes and thigh as well. Take one more deep inhale. This time you're going to wiggle your left foot out just a little bit. Step your right foot behind you. We're going to come up into a squat or malasana. So pressing into your hands, palms, lift your right knee off of the mat, and then we're going to step that right foot forward. Sit your hips down as much as you can for today. You can even shift the weight side to side. It's okay if your heels don't come all the way towards the floor. Just doing the best squat you can with your body today. Work to find that stillness now, dropping those glutes lower, lifting your chest up. The only way you can get better is to practice. Oh my gosh, the first time I went to an intermediate class and we did squats, especially teacher training, I was like, y'all have got to be kidding me. Just like hanging out there, like you could be like talking on your cell phones right now. Let's take 3 more breaths right here. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. Find that lift once more. Feel free to press those elbows into your thighs as much as you need to. Take 1 more nice deep inhale. And on your exhale, bring your fingertips back down towards the floor. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. Heel toe your feet in so that they're either side by side or hips width distance apart. Find that generous bend in your knees, placing your belly on your thighs. A little traction, relaxation as you relax and release your head down towards the floor. So look down towards your big toes instead of looking behind your legs, which can bring a tucking of your chin towards your chest, an extra rounding. If you can't easily place your hands palms on the floor, that's okay. Just grab hold of your opposite elbow. Allow those elbows to hang heavy down towards the floor. Eyes towards the elbows, chin neutral towards your chest, working to sandwich that upper body closer towards the lower body. And I'm sure you've noticed that the more weight you bring into the toes, the larger the stretch you're going to feel along the back of your legs. Take 2 more slow breaths in your dangle, and then we're going to gently roll ourselves up. All right, pull that belly in, slowly roll yourself up. Heels still stay grounded to the floor. Relax and release those shoulders away from your ears, palms in towards your thighs. Stretch your fingers down towards the floor. Gentle squeeze of your glutes as your hips press forward, rounding equally through all 4 corners of your feet, the heels, the big toe, the pinky toe, even pressing your arch down to the floor. Let's start some fun stuff. All right, next up we have Warrior 1. So you're going to inhale your arms up overhead as you step your left leg back behind you. If you can't get your heel all the way to the floor while having a bend in your knee, you can always come into Crescent Warrior and allow your heel to lift up off the floor. You may need to widen your stance. Find a 45-degree angle with that back foot. And think about making sure that your heels aren't really in one line. They're hips width distance apart as you draw that right hip back, left hip forward. Bend that right knee once more. Take 2 breaths. Shoulders pulled away from your ears. Chin neutral, belly engaged. And then we're going to open up to Warrior 2. So left hand comes behind you. You once again might need to widen your step. Make sure you're not stretching your glutes behind you. So tucking that pelvis under. Pulling those arms back gently. Turn your chin towards your right shoulder. Weight is in your front right heel. Back left heel, big toe, pinky toe still grounded to the mat. Let's reverse our warrior. So flip your right hand over, take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, eyes follow right hand up, left hand fingertips trace down the back of your leg. And then we're going to come into triangle. So back to Warrior 2. Make sure you're squeezing glutes, hips forward, taking that arch out of your back. Deep inhale. Exhale, hinge at the hips, stretch your right hand fingertips down towards the floor. Keep this bend in your knee and try not to lift those hips up towards the ceiling or stretch them towards the back of the room. It's okay if your fingertips don't touch down towards the floor. And if you need some help, you can even place your right forearm on your thigh. Stretch your left hand up towards the ceiling. Think about squeezing your heels in towards each other to find that engagement in your legs and your belly. And next up we have extended side angles. So stretch your left arm closer towards your ear. Lift your right arm up for 3, 2, 1. Turn towards that right thigh. We're going to press up onto the right foot for Warrior 3. You can bring your hands to heart center or stretch those arms in front of you. Work to bring that left hip down so you're not opening your hips towards the sidewall. 1 more deep inhale. And on your exhale, lift yourself up, bring the soles of your feet side by side, your toes side by side. Relax your arms down by your side. Take another moment right here in mountain pose. Back to your breath, back to your stillness. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to turn this way. for some modesty. Yes, okay. So at this time, as you inhale those arms up overhead, step your right foot back. Work to get that heel down towards the floor by turning your foot to a 45-degree angle, and then turn to square your chest back with the top of the mat, hips squared with the top of the mat. Relax and release those shoulders away from your ears. Warrior one, bring that bend back towards your front left knee. Work to press that heel through the floor, stretch up. Once more, spacing your vertebrae, take a deep inhale. Exhale, open up into warrior two. Might need to wiggle that right foot out or left foot forward. Squeeze your glutes, hips come forward. Pull those arms back, engage your shoulder blades, and turn your chin towards your left shoulder. Keep that bend in your left knee. And reverse your warrior. Turn your left hand palm up towards the ceiling. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, lift that hand up. Eyes follow your hand. Right hand fingertips can graze down your right thigh. Maybe touch your calf. One more deep inhale. Exhale back to warrior two. Make sure you have that bend in that knee. Weight in that left heel, pressing the outer edge of your right foot into the floor. Straighten your spine up in the center. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, come on into your triangle. Elbow around the knee. No need to go down any lower. No weight or pressure on the floor, even if you can touch it. So okay to take this assisted triangle. Work to draw that right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. As we come into extended side angle, so stretch your right hand fingertips in line with the right side of your body. Ground your right foot to the floor, pull your belly in, lift your left hand up. For 3, 2, 1. Turn towards your left leg. Get ready to press off of your right foot. Find some balance. Lift that left leg up. Pull your belly in, shoulders away from your ears. Warrior 3, or slightly more challenging, arms extended. Stretch through your toes, the crown of your head, your fingers. And change. Ooh, go ahead, bring your right foot back down towards the floor. Lift yourself up. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. Relax your arms down by your side. Back to your breath. Well, let me check in with what's coming next. Okay. Relax here in mountain pose for just one more moment. Open your shoulders and chest. Ground your feet to the floor. Take a deep inhale. Bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, we're gonna fold forward. Belly pulled in nice and tight. Fingertips rain down towards the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back down. Next up, we have diver's pose. So bend your knees again, similar to our dangle. And notice the bending of your knees stretches your glutes towards the back of the room. Pull those shoulders away from your ears. You're gonna lift your hands up, just like when we started in skier pose. So you can start with your hands, palms facing in towards your hips. But for diver pose, you're gonna dive your head down towards the floor. Work to press those big toes down into the mat. Can you stretch your fingertips higher up towards the ceiling? Pull that belly in. 5 breaths right here. The more that you focus your eyes, control your breath, the easier balance will be. Press up onto the balls of the feet. Stretch that hairline and eyes down towards the floor. Last breath. Relax and release your heels down towards the floor. Bring those arms up overhead, coming into chair pose. Stretch your hips back towards the back of the room. Eyes forward. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest. We're going to take a twist. Bring your left elbow to the outside of the right knee. Gently press into that right leg. Make sure that your hips are still back so that your knees are stacked on top of your ankle. Work to stack your elbows on top of each other, shoulders on top of each other. If you want, you can open up here in your twist. Left hand fingertips stretch down towards the floor, right arm up towards the ceiling. And change, bring those hands, palms back together. Come back through to center, lift your chest, weight in your heels, stretch those hips back. You're worth it. And twist, right elbow to the outside of the left knee. Press into the outside of that thigh. Bring the weight back into your heels. Don't let it creep to your toes. Push your hands, palms together. Stack your elbows, stack your shoulders. And if you want, you can open up on this side, stretching your left hand fingertips towards the ceiling. Make sure you keep that weight in your heels though. And change. Bring your hands, palms back together. Turn back towards the center. Oh, relax and release those fingers down towards the floor, hairline down towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, back is flat. Exhale, relax and release yourself down towards the floor, and then slowly roll yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. Yay. All right, turn sideways on your mat this time. We have one squat. We're gonna go for an elevated wide squat. So inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, step those right feet out towards the right. You can stretch your arms out towards the side. Just a little engagement of that back as you turn those toes out towards the outside of the room. Inhale those arms back up overhead. We're gonna squat down nice and low. Pull your shoulders away from your ear. Tuck your pelvis and hips forward. Press up onto the balls of your feet. 5 breaths. Nice and slow. Can you bring your arms in line with your ears? Can you sit a little bit lower? Last 2 breaths. Great. Relax and release your heels to the floor. Lift yourself up. Relax your arms down. We're going to step back towards the top of the mat. Just another moment right here in mountain pose. Shake it out if you want. Actually, let's bang the drum for a second. So just twist your body right and left. Your arms are the strings with the beads. Ah, feels so good. Just a little standing spine twist. Next, we're going to do some hamstring work. Okay. If you have trouble hinging forward and placing your hands on the floor, now is the time to bring a block in front of you. Go ahead, come up back to your stillness, back to your mountain. Open your chest, squeeze your glutes, hips forward, ground your feet towards the floor. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, belly tight. You can bend your knees if you need to. Rain those fingers down towards the floor, just a couple inches away from your toes. I'm just gonna back away from the couch a teeny bit. Make sure you have some space behind you. All right, we're gonna inhale our right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, you're gonna bend your left leg slightly and work to bring your right knee towards the outside of that left thigh. And then inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Stretch through your toe. Exhale, bend. Inhale, lift. Exhale, bend. Make sure you're keeping the weight in that heel of your left foot. 4 more. Inhale, lift. Stretch, exhale, bend, squeeze. Inhale, lift, stretch, exhale, bend, squeeze. Inhale, lift, stretch, exhale, bend. Last one. Inhale, lift, stretch, exhale, bend, squeeze. Go ahead, relax and release that right foot down towards the floor. And then bend your opposite knees, getting some movement in those hips. And let's come on to the right side. Find that grounding of your hands or the pads of your fingers on the floor, on the block. Inhale your left leg up towards the ceiling. Remember, your hands are close to your feet, not in down dog. Stretch through that left toe. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift, point. Exhale, crunch and squeeze. Use that breath. Nice and slow. Just make sure you're still breathing. Make sure that stomach is still sucked in because we're in a forward fold. 5 more. Stretch. Squeeze. Stretch. Squeeze. Stretch. Squeeze. Stretch. Squeeze. Last one. Stretch. Squeeze. Awesome. Go ahead, release that left leg down towards the floor. Bend your knees. Let's take a moment. Open those knees out nice and wide. Send your hips back towards your heels and come into child's pose.
Just relax here as much as possible. You can be as passive in your upper body as you want. We're going to do that same thing one more time. Just the hamstring focused down dog-ish move. Take 2 more breaths right here.
Awesome. Bring yourself back up to tabletop. Get your hands, palms underneath of your shoulders. Send your legs back for a moment in plank for 5, 4. Pull your shoulders away from your ears. 2, 1. Send those hips up towards the ceiling. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Feel free to take a moment when you get there. Generous bend of your knees. Dingle. One hip moves and then the other. Oh. Okay, then let's go ahead. Round your hands down towards the floor. Send your right leg back up towards the ceiling, starting with that right leg straight. Stretch up towards the ceiling as much as you can. Then bend that left leg, weight stays towards the heel, and then extend. Bend and squeeze, extend and lift. Keep it up with your breath. Halfway. 5 more. 5, extend. 4, extend. 3, 2, and 1. Yay, relax and release that right foot down towards the floor. Once again, bend one knee and then the other. Get some movement in your hips. And then left leg, extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. Hands are still close towards your feet. Point that left toe. Bend and squeeze, extend and lift. Bend and squeeze, extend and lift. So we're working on some flexibility here too, increasing that flexibility by really stretching through your toe as you extend up halfway. 5 more right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Awesome. Relax that left leg down. Go ahead once again. This time let's go for a closed leg child's pose. Knees come together. Send those hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward. Or take as generous of a bend of your knees as elbows as feels good for you today.
All right, we've got one more glute focused move for the day. But first, let's pull ourselves up and give ourselves a little bit of cat-cow. Shake it out.
Oh my gosh, find that extension and rounding. Find the stretch that feels best for you. Play around. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wake up. I've been up since 6, but like this is a whole new waking everything up, as opposed to just going straight to my desk. So much less activity in the morning now that I don't have to walk to my car, walk to the office. Okay, next up we're gonna go for some down dog leg extensions. So if you can't be up and down dog, you can always stay down here in a modified plank even, and just do your best, or even in tabletop to do what we're about to do. It's kind of like we're about to do some fire hydrants, but in down dog. Okay, so go ahead, plant those hands, palms down on the floor. Step into your plank, send your hips up towards the ceiling. Feel free to open your feet and pedal the dog. Pedal your feet, walk the dog. Think about really lifting from your hips so that your inner thighs spiral towards the back of the room. All right, tucking my shirt in. You might want to ground to your left foot a little closer to the center line of your body.
Inhale your right leg up towards the ceiling and then point those right toes out towards the side. From here, you're going to bring your right foot forward for 5, 4, 3, 2. Extend it back, lift it high. Take a deep breath, inhale. Exhale, bring it forward, hang out there for 5, 4, 3, 2. Inhale back. One more. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring that foot forward. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring it back. Exhale it down. Go ahead, drop those knees down towards the floor. Oh, cat-cow it out. We'll do one time, same thing on the other side, just 3. We were gonna do 3 sets of that, but I'd rather we have some time for something else that feels good. All right, so hands, palms back on the floor, engage that back, engage your belly, step your feet back, come into your plank. Take one more breath here in plank, and then send those hips up towards the ceiling. Feel free to once again pedal your heels, walk the dog, start to walk that right foot towards the center line of your body, and inhale that left leg up. Turn those left toes out towards the opposite wall. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Bring those left toes forward towards the top of the mat. Inhale. Oh, I forgot to hold for 5. Sorry. Inhale, bring the left toes forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it back. Take a breath here. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, bring it forward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it back. Let's bring it forward one more time. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Send it back. Great. Go ahead, bring your left leg down. Drop those knees down. One more time, send your hips back towards your heels for some child's pose. Take 2 more breaths right here. Relax and release. And then go ahead, pull yourself forward. Go ahead, bring those forearms down towards the mat. We're gonna step our legs back into a plank one more time though. So take a moment, really ground the balls of your feet into the floor. Both legs come back. Here we are in our plank. Tap your left leg down, lift, right leg down, lift, left, lift, right, lift. Keep alternating, I promise. We're not going to stay here too long. I just want you to focus on pressing those elbows into the floor, pulling your shoulders away from your ears for 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, and 1. On each side. Awesome. Go ahead, relax and release your belly down towards the floor. Open those arms out. Take a moment right here in Sphinx. Open your feet as wide as feels comfortable for you. Find a little engagement of the tops of your feet into the floor. Maybe squeeze one butt cheek and then the other. Ooh. Press that belly button, pubic mound down towards the mat. Press your elbows into the mat. Feel that amazing squeeze on your lower back. Option to come a little bit deeper here for just about one final minute. Coming into seal if you would like. Press your hands, palms into the floor. Keep that press of your pubic mound down towards the mat. And lift yourself up. Deeper squeeze up that back. If you want, you can even go ahead, bend your knees. Bring your toes together. Really squeeze your glutes. Work to bring those heels closer to your glutes, toes closer to your head. Stretch and lift back. Pubic mound stays down though for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Relax and release yourself down towards the mat. Keep those knees bent. Make a pillow with your hands and just windshield wipe your feet. Right and left, right and left. We're going to take one more back strengthener. Locust. So go ahead, relax your arms down by your side. Go ahead, turn your palms in towards each other.
If you want, you can even interlace your fingers behind your back. Squeeze your legs together because tighter is lighter. Start by pressing the tops of your feet into the floor so that your kneecaps engage and lift up off of the mat. Your glute squeeze and your pubic mound once again presses down. Stretch your chin out on the mat in front of you. Find a little engagement on your throat. You're gonna look up towards the ceiling, not the wall in front of you. Looking up will help you lift up. And we're gonna lift with our inhale. So take a big exhale, let all that stale air out. Roll and pull your shoulders away from your inhale, from your ears, inhale. Lift up, look up. You can interlace those fingers if you want. Stretch back, hang out here. Take a deep inhale, squeeze your glutes, lift your arms. And exhale, slowly lower down. Place your left ear on the mat, just taking a moment to find some rounding in your shoulders, a nice little stretch of your neck in each direction. Let's do it one more time. So go ahead, bring those feet back together, heels, toes touching each other side by side. Stretch your chin out on the mat in front of you. Stretch your fingertips down towards the end of the mat. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Kneecaps lift up. Glute squeeze, chin stretch forward, shoulders pulled away from your ears. Enjoy a big exhale. And on your inhale, as if your lungs are filling up like a balloon and it's making you rise up, eyes up towards the ceiling, chin stretched towards the ceiling, lift those heels, stretch your fingers, take a deep inhale, look up, lift up, and exhale, slowly lower yourself down. This time, right ear on the mat, look towards the left side. Feel free to find some rounding in your shoulders. If your eyes are open, find that one spot of focus. Relax your eyes, relax your mind, relax your breath, and forget about any tension you might have felt or challenge that that lift might have brought to you. Let it go. It's totally gone already. Just in the present moment with your breath. All right, go ahead, bring your hands, palms back underneath of your chest. Press yourself back up. Take one more moment here in cat-cow. Let's start with a twist. So go ahead, turn your chin towards that right shoulder. Looking over your right shoulder. Finding that stretch in your neck, maybe bringing your right shoulder closer towards your hip as you come into your breath, and you can stretch a little bit deeper. Get ready to come out very slowly back to neutral. And take your time coming over to the left in a twist. Start by just looking over that left shoulder. Take a couple breaths right here and then evaluate. Can you make your twist a little bit deeper? Can you get into those obliques a little bit, bringing that lower rib closer towards your hip? Feel the squeeze. And then change back to center. Feel free to give yourself some circles here with your shoulders. If you do something in one direction, just see if it honors your body. Do it in the other direction as well. Oh. Feel free to stretch your hips a little closer towards your heels to find a nice stretch in your lower back as you press your hands, palms into the floor. If you need more of a stretch in your upper back, working to find some rounding in that upper back, shoulders coming forward of those fingertips. One more minute to just find the breath that works best for you today and the movement. Oh my gosh, feels so good. Okay, now you're going to go ahead and cross your ankles. Walk your hands back. Come on back into this seated position. Go ahead, straighten those legs out in front of you. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, rain your fingertips down towards the floor, and then like you're drawing your fingertips through sand, gently roll yourself up. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, belly towards thighs. Rain those fingertips and paint through the sand. One more time, inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, rain and paint down, and this time as you come up to a seated position, back in staff pose, go ahead, bend your knees as much as you need to, stretch your fingertips out in front of you, palms facing towards each other. Keep that belly pulled in tight as you slowly lower yourself down, one vertebrae at a time. Once you get there, you can relax your arms down by your side. You can keep this bend of your knees if you want to. We're just going to come into our final Savasana. Can you believe we're already at final Savasana? Ooh, feel free to open your arms as wide as you want. Open your legs as wide as you want. Take this time to truly melt into your mat. Come back to your breath. Allow your practice to just soak in all of the awesome, freshly oxygenated blood that you just created through your movement. Your mindfulness and your breath is just going to rush through your body and help to energize you, to flush out all of the bad juju and yada yada yadas. So you can go through the rest of the day and start your weekend hopefully feeling refreshed, empowered. Remember that this beautiful breath is there for you anytime, any day that you need it. You can always close your eyes, focus back on your slow breathing. That's where the yoga practice really just comes into play. This is all practice. It's all practice. We make some fun shapes, but it's truly just about the mindfulness that we create, engaging our body, our mind, and our breath together. And it's so powerful. I hope you guys could feel it today. Take one more minute right here in silence. Just notice the sounds in the room. Notice the sound of your breath. Can you even hear it, or are you breathing so slowly and quietly? Feel free to stay here in your Savasana as long as it honors you. If you're ready to close your practice, take a moment, draw your knees in towards your chest. Oh, one more opportunity to pull your shoulders away from your ears. And then as you're ready, either rocking yourself up like a ball or rolling over onto the side and pressing yourself up into the seated position of your choice. Go ahead, bring your hands, palms to the center of your chest. As you close out your practice and honor yourself for making this time for you, for resetting your energy, for coming and sharing that energy, not just with me, but with everyone else you come into contact with today. If you have any questions or concerns about anything that we said or did today, as always, please reach out. Continue to think good thoughts, speak good words, eat good foods, do good deeds. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste. much for coming today. I hope you had a great time.